Okay, so ready to dive into the world of branch managers.
Let's do it. Always up for a challenge.
We got this company, RoleCatcher, Ryan. They're all about AI and job searching,
Yeah.
and then this whole career guide, super in-depth, specifically on branch managers.
Interesting combo. Like old school advice meets the future of work.
Totally. But before we get lost in the algorithm weeds, what does a branch manager actually do? Like, yeah, we know the title, but what's the day-to-day vibe?
More dynamic than people think, that's for sure. Imagine being the bridge between the company's grand vision, right? Set by the higher-ups, and then the reality of a local market. That's the branch manager's world.
So not just spreadsheets and hitting sales targets.
Oh, there's definitely that. But also leading a team making judgment calls every day, figuring out how that big vision actually works where the rubber meets the road, driving marketing customers too, probably putting out fires left and right.
Sounds intense,
Mm,
but impactful. Like you can really leave your mark.
100%. The career guide hits on that the weight of responsibility branch manager keeps things running, hits those targets, stays on the right side of the law. It's a lot to juggle.
Which brings us back to RoleCatcher. They're all about using AI to get you noticed right, especially with these AI recruiters becoming so common.
Yeah, I've heard about those. Basically, algorithms scanning resumes for keywords. Instead of a human looking at your experience, it's a bot making the first cut.
And RoleCatcher says they can help with that. Tailor your resume so the AI likes what it sees. You stand out from the crowd even before a human gets involved.
And it's not just about getting past the robots. They also talk about this reverse matching thing. Imagine employers searching for your skills. It flips the whole job hunting thing on its head.
So instead of us chasing jobs, the jobs come after us. How does that even work?
Data and algorithms. It's all about connecting the dots. Let's say you're great at managing sales teams and you're a whiz at market trends. You feed that info to RoleCatcher. Their system finds companies looking for exactly that, like a matchmaking service, but for careers.
Okay, that's kind of cool. Levels the playing field a bit,
Yeah.
right? Using tech to connect people and companies.
Right. But even with fancy algorithms, you still need the skills to back it up.
Which is a perfect segue to those essential branch manager skills. This career guide gets super specific about what it takes to succeed. And some of it, well, let's just say I had a few really moments. And some of it, well, let's just say I had a few really moments.
You need to have your mind blown.
Hit me with it.
So this career guide, right? It ranks the top skills for branch managers. And guess what's number one?
Okay, now I got to know, spill the beans.
That's not about being a financial guru or a marketing whiz. Those are important. The most crucial skill, judgment and decision making. 82% of what makes a branch manager successful boils down to that.
82%. That's wild. I mean, branch managers make big calls every day, but that number really puts it in perspective.
Right. Think about it. You're constantly dealing with curveballs, incomplete information, tight deadlines. A good branch manager has to cut through the noise. Trust their gut. Make the call even when the way forward isn't crystal clear.
Like playing chess on fast forward. Anticipating challenges, weighing options, making the best move for your branch, your team, your own career. No pressure.
Exactly. And here's where it gets even juicier. It's not just about being decisive. It's about judgment and decision-making across the board from finances to personnel.
So you're telling me being a numbers whiz or a people person isn't enough. You got to be both.
In fact, management of financial resources and management of personnel resources are both ranked at 79%, right up there with that critical decision-making skill. That's a balancing act for sure.
So you're crunching numbers, forecasting sales, and rallying the troops. Motivating employees, maybe even putting out interpersonal fires. Sounds like you got to be a conductor, making sure all those different instruments are playing in tune.
Spot on. And don't forget the external factors we talked about. Remember the branch manager as that bridge between headquarters and the local market?
Right. Keeping the company happy while catering to local needs and trends.
And those two don't always see eye to eye. Maybe headquarters comes up with a new strategy that just doesn't fly in your market. Or there are local regulations, economic conditions that headquarters doesn't fully grasp. The branch manager has to navigate all that, be the voice of reason, the advocate for their team and their customers.
Sounds like you need to be a master diplomat on top of everything else. Managing up and down the chain of command.
You got it. And then there are the people challenges inherent in any leadership role. Managing a diverse team, keeping everyone motivated, dealing with conflict, maybe even having those tough conversations when someone's not cutting it. Those are tough situations every branch manager has to be prepared for.
It's like you need a psychology degree on top of everything else.
Right. And then there's the constant pressure to stay ahead of the curve. Markets change, new competitors pop up, regulations evolve. It's a lot to keep up with.
Sounds like a branch manager's work is never really done.
True, but that's also what makes it so exciting. There's always something new to learn, a new challenge to tackle, a new opportunity to make a difference.
And imagine looking back your career and seeing the impact. The teams you've built, the goals you've crushed, the businesses you've helped grow. That's got to be incredibly rewarding.
Absolutely. And for someone who thrives in a dynamic environment, who enjoys leading others, who isn't afraid of a challenge, and who can make those tough decisions, well, branch management might just be the perfect fit.
Speaking of those different stages in a branch manager's career, I'm curious how those skills we've been talking about actually play out in the real world. Thankfully, RoleCatcher breaks down those different stages, from assistant to senior branch manager.
And the career guide we have provides some great real-world examples, profiles of people who've climbed that ladder. It's one thing to read a job description, right? But it's so much more helpful to hear from someone who started as an assistant branch manager, maybe fresh out of college, and worked their way up to overseeing an entire region.
That's a great point. It makes the whole career path feel much more tangible and achievable. So let's paint a picture for our listener. You're that fresh-faced assistant branch manager, just starting out. What's a typical day look like for you?
Well, at that stage, you're the support system, the organizational guru learning the ropes from the ground up. Think day-to-day operations, assisting the branch manager with various tasks, handling paperwork, maybe even dealing with customer service issues. It's all about proving yourself reliable, building a strong foundation.
So less about making those big decisions and more about mastering the fundamentals.
Exactly. But as you gain experience and move up to, say, assistant branch manager, you start taking on more responsibility, maybe even supervising a small team or two.
So you're starting to flex those leadership muscles,
Yeah.
putting those people skills to the test.
Absolutely. And you're getting more involved in the strategic side of things, assisting with developing and implementing plans, maybe even doing some market analysis to identify growth opportunities. You're starting to see the bigger picture, but still under the guidance of a more seasoned branch manager.
It's like being an apprentice, learning the craft from a master. You're gaining valuable experience, making mistakes and building the confidence to eventually lead your own branch.
Right. And when you finally reach that branch manager level, it's a whole new ballgame. Now you're the one making those tough calls, overseeing everything from budgets to hiring, building relationships with stakeholders, and ultimately responsible for the success of your branch.
That's a lot of pressure, but also a tremendous opportunity to make your mark. What about the next rung on the ladder, that senior branch manager role? What does that look like?
At that point, you've graduated from managing a single branch to overseeing a whole region. You're leading and mentoring a team of branch managers, developing regional strategies, maybe even traveling to different branches to provide guidance and support. It's a much more strategic and high-level role.
It sounds like you become the CEO of your own little empire.
In a way, yes. And the guide even mentions specific certifications that can help you climb that ladder faster. Things like Project Management Professional, or PMP, or Certified Financial Manager, CFM.
So those certifications are like a shortcut to the top.
Not exactly a shortcut, more like a signal. It shows employers you're serious. You've invested the time and effort. Speaking of signals, that reminds me of RoleCatcher and that reverse matching thing.
Right. Like imagine a company searching for a senior branch manager, and they specifically want someone with a PMP certification.
Yeah.
Your profile pops up. You've got the experience, the skills. You're already a step ahead.
Exactly. But certifications aside, let's talk about those everyday challenges branch managers face.
Right.
No matter where they are on the career ladder. It's not all sunshine and roses, right?
Right. There's got to be some thorns along the way.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest hurdles?
Well, remember that balancing act we talked about? Headquarters versus the local market? That tension never really goes away.
Right. You've got to keep everyone happy. Headquarters wants to see those numbers, but you also have to adapt to what's happening on your turf.
And sometimes those two things clash. Maybe headquarters rolls out a new strategy that just doesn't make sense in your market. Or there are local regulations, economic conditions that headquarters doesn't fully grasp. The branch manager has to walk that tightrope, be the voice of reason, the advocate for their team and their customers.
So you need serious diplomacy skills, managing up and down the chain of command.
Absolutely. And then there are the people challenges. Managing a team with different personalities and work styles, keeping everyone motivated, having those tough conversations when someone's not performing, even having to let people go. Those are tough situations, but they come with the territory.
Sounds like you need a crash course in conflict resolution on top of everything else.
Right. And let's not forget about staying ahead of the curve. Markets change. new competitors pop up, regulations get updated. It's a lot to keep track of.
Sounds like a branch manager's to-do list never really ends.
True, but that's also what makes it so exciting. There's always something new to learn, a new challenge to tackle, a new opportunity to grow.
And imagine looking back on your career and seeing the impact you've made, the teams you've built, the goals you've achieved, the businesses you've helped thrive. That's got to be incredibly rewarding.
Absolutely. So if you're out there and you thrive in a fast-paced environment, you enjoy leading and inspiring others, you're not afraid of a challenge, and you're ready to make those tough decisions, well, branch management might just be your calling.
So whether you're just starting to explore this career path or you're eyeing that promotion to branch manager, hopefully this deep dive has given you a clear picture of what it really takes to succeed, the skills, the challenges, and the incredible rewards that come with leading a team to success.
And remember, even if you're not polishing your resume right this second, it's never too early to start thinking about your long-term career goals. What skills do you want to master? What kind of leader do you want to be? And how can you position yourself for success in this ever-changing job market?
Because ultimately, whether you're using a platform like RoleCatcher or forging your own path, the power to shape your career destiny, that's all on you. Until next time on The Deep Dive, happy job hunting.